Hello, and welcome to this lecture entitled Analyze Your Topic for Themes. This is the second lecture in the trilogy concerning choosing topics and turning them into viable research questions. Analyzing your topic for themes is the second step in this process. Remember, to analyze means to break a large idea into its component parts, then examine those parts. In this lecture, I'll define and discuss what themes are and how they relate to topics, also the mechanics of articulating themes, and I'll run through an example that links to the topic we chose in the previous lecture. Just as topics are narrower components of subject areas, themes are narrower components of topics. As Jules Benjamin wrote in A Student's Guide to History, a theme, quote, is an important aspect of the topic that you wish to investigate, unquote. So the topic leads you to tell a story, while a theme gives you a mystery to investigate. These are very different missions, though they work together to make your research report understandable and compelling. What are some of the mechanics of expressing themes? It's possible that using the mechanics that we'll talk about in just a minute merely rotely will not yield solid themes. But if you read more about your topic, you're likely to benefit from using these templates and procedures. First, understand that you will generate multiple themes from your topic, and you'll have to call those just like you did the topics. Making a choice of one theme to follow then yields the next stage of refining, asking research questions. So now the mechanics. Express your themes as full sentences rather than as phrases or clauses. In those sentences, use action verbs. The authors of The Craft of Research suggest using words like conflict, contribute, develop. I suggest you can use change as well. Sometimes adding such prominent action verbs makes you force your theme unnaturally or beyond what your current level of research supports. Don't sacrifice a solid, if not yet fully developed theme for the sake of a formula. If you must, you can stick with descriptive language, but be sure to use complete sentences. As with topics, it's not necessary to get themes perfect. Like a topic, themes are a step in guiding you toward the goal of creating research questions. The process of coming up with themes is the same as distilling topics from subject areas. So doing so requires you to read more about your topic, looking for the themes that other historians address. Although you can distill some themes from reading and reference sources like encyclopedias and textbooks, you're likely to begin to need more focused works. We call these monographs, works that discuss components of topics and answer research questions specifically. These can be focused books as well as journal articles. At this point, you should create a preliminary bibliography of books and articles that you want to consult to learn more about events, but mostly to gather the author's interpretations of those events. Let's look at our example topic from the last lecture and distill some themes from it. Remember that we began with the subject, strikes in the U.S. Gilded Age, and that we chose as our topic, I want to tell a story about the Homestead Strike of 1862. Remember that in choosing to research the Homestead Strike, that we also chose to leave the Great Railway Strike of 1877 and the Pullman Strike of 1894 behind. We also know that we want to go beyond telling a story about Homestead. Analyzing the story of Homestead for themes. We have many more options than I show here, but these three themes suffice for this example, as well as for your exercise in narrowing your topic. You see, I've written these complete sentences and used action words even though they're a bit weak. That's okay, because I don't want to overstate any of the themes in such a way that I've boxed myself in when I write research questions for each of them. Let me point out that the themes should not read as if they are points in an outline for a paper on the topic. This is important, so let me reiterate it. You can unwittingly lock yourself into thinking about a paper on the topic of the Homestead strike rather than writing an answer to a research question by lining up ideas to cover such a paper and merely calling them themes. So look at these themes. The first concerns labor management antagonism that led to the labor stoppage, which was really a lockout rather than a strike. The second addresses an incident during the strike, usually called the Battle of the Monongahela. Plant manager Henry Clay Frick tried to import strikebreakers on barges that were guarded by Pinkerton detectives. The strikers found out, and they attacked the barges with rifle and even cannon fire. This led to the Pennsylvania militia occupying the town of Homestead. In the last theme, an anarchist, Alexander Berkman, attempted to assassinate Frick in his office. This theme asks why Berkman felt compelled to attack. These are three distinct themes that do not form points on an outline for a paper on the strike itself, though they all emerge from incidences within the strike. Our final lecture will discuss turning these themes into potential research questions and how you can use such research questions. This ends this lecture. As always, thanks for your attention.